I don't know. I don't like it when I see like there we go. I don't like it when I see developers like just abandon projects. I was actually looking at quite a number of games that I've covered over the years, and I'm like, oh, how many of these have actually been finished in any way, shape, or form? I've mentioned Cavern Kings at least a couple of times during this specific series. Cavern Kings was an awesome game, and as far as I can tell, the developers of it have just moved on. And they just won't be going back to it, and I'm like, but your game was cool. And, like, had a lot of promise, and nothing. And it sucks, because, like, I don't know. You can't, like, reclaim... Ow! Oh, because I just smacked him back a little bit. That's frustrating. Okay, we're gonna start getting... Oh, they made those... Kinder. Where the shit's the torch? Okay, I guess this is why I should probably... Okay, let's grab this. Is there not a light source around here at all? Oh, there's one. There we go. Jeez, that took some effort. They probably should be marked on the map, or maybe a little bit more obvious in the murk. Oh yeah, there's another one. I think I just dodged every single one of them, now that I'm looking at it. Okay, so we want to go back for this. Okay, but yeah, as far as I can tell, the developers of Cavern Kings have, like, totally abandoned it at this point, and they're not going to be working on it anymore. I was talking about a game called Fate Tectonics the other night, and that game looks to be abandoned war to some degree. I really hate these guys. I'm gonna kill the cultist before I do any more. Let's see, do we want this? Extra skills? No. This seems to be a melee run. There we go. Looks like most enemies get a little bit stunned by the, AoE explosion. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so... Cavern Kings is gone. Fate Tectonics, they developed it for like 3 months, and for all I know, it could have actually been released, like, fully when it came out. It's kind of hard to tell on that one, but they did, like, several patches and, like, called everything beta, and then, poof. Okay, I'm gonna leave that one there for a little bit. These smaller torches go away after a certain point. And I guess it always just kind of offends me a little bit that, like, these early access titles can be on Steam. They go through the whole early access period, and then they never ever finish. The developer is just like, well, I have bored of working on this, time to move on to other things. Like, I guess I can understand when a developer, like, literally just does not have the money for it anymore. Like, that, okay, that almost feels like an acceptable thing. There are a lot of early access products that, like, never ever will get finished just because it's, like, not possible. I was, like, right next to it, and I kept tossing it over because we were, like, on top of it. Whatever. Okay, do we have a light source around here? There we go. There's a game called Dungeon Rushers that I specifically bought so I could play in co-op with Keith, because he was going to be adding it. It was kind of a neat tactical roguelike, and that was annoying. I don't like this level that much. It's got kind of weird issues. Where's the key? I guess we'll get back up here. But yeah, that game got, like, a couple of patches, and then poof, there goes the developer. Seriously, though. Oh, no? The hell's the key? Oh. It's all the way back at the beginning. I probably got the wrong key along the way. But I was... Oh, God. Yeah, interesting issue I've run into in this game that I'm going to crankle about for a second. If you're on a ledge, your character will repeatedly kind of, like, stumble over the ledge if you're too close to it. Same thing if you're, like, directly on top of an enemy. You can very easily just spend your spend like your last seconds like stumbling on a ledge here. I hope they kind of address that. But I guess I'm always hoping that Steam will take maybe like a more proactive approach to not predatory early access titles, but early access titles that will never get finished. What was it? Was it No Moria? I think it was No Moria came out a while ago. And the developer specifically, I think they just said, all right, good enough, it's done. And then that was just the end of it. There's nothing up here. Interesting that we stopped taking darkness damage. There we go. Okay, I guess we got a portal over here. I'm just gonna warp back. But so like I was looking up No Moria to see if No Moria was any good. And almost immediately I just see all the negative reviews being like, this game will never be finished and stuff like that. And it's just like, that just kind of sucks. What's another good example? Necropolis. I don't know how many of you guys saw that game come through, or my series of it. Necropolis was neat. It was really promising. It was actually made by a friend of mine. And I was like super stoked about it because I was like, oh yeah, you know, Souls-like roguelike. Like my two favorite things mushed together. Looks awesome. And then the actual execution was clunky and annoying and stuff like that. But that hasn't seen a patch for quite a couple of months at this point. It'll be a year come sometime in the summer, I believe. And I'm kind of buggered about that because it's just like, I mean, that's not even a small studio. And if they like leave that game on like perpetual early access, I'm going to be so cheesed. Because I think I spent like $30 on that because they totally ignored my press copy request. I even tried contacting my friend about it. It's like, hey, can I like talk to you about the development for this game? You know, just ask questions, whatever. Just complete radio silence, and I'm like, okay, you are clearly not my friend anymore. Oh yeah, sometimes they have their hands tied, but it's just like, he didn't even say no. I don't know, anytime I like contact a friend and then they just don't even like bother responding ever, I'm just like, okay, I guess I'm not worth your time. I'll move on. It sounds probably like a little bit too defeatist for friendships. Okay. I have never fought an elite version one of these guys. I think I can just AoE him to death. Well, worked. Okay, long dive attacks make the ground ignite. Mainly I just wanted it for the damage reduction. Okay. Oh, it's time. Yeah, if I can divide and conquer here, this gets much easier. Yeah, these guys are easy if you got the right skills for it. Much easier, anyway. Oh, that does less damage. That's interesting. But yeah, I'm gonna be like cheesed off if that game never has like an early access launch. I'm trying to think, or not an early access launch, like another couple of patches to make it better. Because part of the problem is like half these games could be made like into something amazing, but then they never will be. What is this? Repeater crossbow? Yes, sure. I'm interested. I'll check that out. Yeah, people bring up No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky was bad. Like, legitimately bad, but the most recent patches actually made me kind of... actually made me kind of happy that they've been trying. Nothing makes me more positive about a game developer trying to make a bad game good. And generally succeeding. Like, I hated Final Fantasy 15, and I probably will never finish that series. But I gotta give Square Enix credit for actually trying to, you know, fill out all the story holes and, you know, making it into not a garbage game. Because, like, I guess, I don't know. It just it's nice to see a developer follow through and make a good product, even if it takes a while. I've always wanted to play the Final Fantasy XIV MMO. Not really because I want to play the game, but because I actually played it back when it was in beta. In the original version, before they improved it. And it was... Oh, that was like the hottest garbage ever. I absolutely hated that game, and I was just like, well, I'm never even touching this. Because I really was looking for like a WoW replacement, because I was a huge WoW player back in the day. And it was nowhere even close to... It was nowhere even close to what I would have wanted. And they actually seem to have made it into like a legitimately good game, and I'm like, oh, I actually really like that. I will never play it, probably. I mean, if it goes free to play, then I'm like super down. Or if like enough friends were to get together and like say, let's do a series on it, I'd be like, really? Okay. Generally, I don't like doing series on MMOs. They're kind of fun, but they're also just time consuming, and generally they just feel boring. And no such thing as a WoW replacement. Yeah. Yeah. Doesn't stop me from missing the good old days of Wrath of the Lich King. Yeah, we have WoW, but it's different. Honestly, the WoW experience for me is replicated by YouTubing. Doesn't Final Fantasy XIV have a subscription fee? Yeah, it does. Which is why I probably will never do a series on it. Because it is hard to justify doing a series on a game with a subscription fee. And I have WoW. Yeah, Shell's been playing it. I mostly just have it there for the occasional, like, hey, let's get on and try and kind of complete that sort of series that we're doing. I really hate this thing sometimes. I'll, like, get stuck in the air, which is cool, but also, like, it makes it really hard to hit the enemy that I was just trying to hit earlier. Whatever. This weapon is amazing, by the way. The last hit is a crit, even though it's not a crit. So if you could actually get it to crit, then, oof, damage. If it makes you feel better, Legion isn't a piece of hot shit. Yeah, I was actually rather enjoying Legion when we were playing it. It's just, ultimately, the, traditional WoW questing is boring. Like, I just can't get into that anymore. It's so non-compelling after I've played other things. Like, I will gladly take Monster Hunter grinding over WoW quest grinding any day at this point. Because I've played more compelling things, and it kind of hurts. One of the reasons why I like these boots is they've got an AoE smash. Takes out all the birds. Screw those birds. There we go. That's what raiding is for in Mythic Dungeon. Yeah, but the problem is, like, I don't have time for that. Like, to give an example of my my daily schedule, I really like those new rune like teleporter things that they've put in here. To give an example of my daily schedule and why like stuff like MMOs just don't work for me. I got up today at noon, read my emails, you know, kind of futzed for a bit. And then about 12:30, I'm up, queuing up videos to render and stuff like that. Then after that, I recorded 3 hours of Anti-Hero. And then I did... Oh, what else did I record? Was it Anti-Hero? No, I had to render videos, which is time-consuming. Took a break for dinner. Prepped more videos so they could render overnight tonight. And then... Oh, I've already been in here, son of a... I just went back in. But more or less, I work from waking to stream time, and then after stream time, I usually actually just go back and work on editing more videos, or tonight we're going to be playing more games to record because I'm behind on like half my series. Because comboing multiplayer with games that don't work great on stream makes for kind of bad backlogs. Honestly, also anything that I record with Shell generally also has like a non-existent backlog just because she has her own thing to do. One of the biggest problems I'm running into lately actually is games that aren't even out yet. There's a ton of There's a ton of really cool games that aren't out yet, and won't be out for like a little while. And they're embargoed, so I can record them, but I can't stream them and I can't put them on YouTube yet. But I need to start recording them. But the problem is, like, fitting that kind of stuff into my schedule is, like, kind of the worst. Because if I try and stream them, either I get in trouble, or everybody's just like, oh, what's this game? And then just, like, leaves, and it's just like, but I really want to get, like, partnered on Twitch, too. I think if it weren't for streaming, my YouTube life would probably be a little bit easier. But I don't think I'd change my style now. It's so much nicer having people that I can actually, like, sit down and be like, hey, come watch me. Oh. I wonder if the oiled sword's been improved. No idea. Yeah, setting aside 6 to 12 hours a week doesn't work. Yeah. I'm kind of hoping I can get in at least a little bit into raiding with Destiny. I'm a huge... Jesus, I think this is the most amount of HP I've ever had. In one of these runs. But yeah, I kind of want to try and get into Destiny raiding because it's a little bit easier. Okay, the oiled sword is hot garbage. Good to know. Kind of sad, but good to know. But yeah, I want to get into Destiny raiding to some degree, just because I actually do enjoy that game. And I'm also looking forward to being able to get, like, a raid group together that's not, like, 10 to 20 people. I'm not even going to bother getting the skills. It might be an upgrade, but it might not have the skills associated with it. Mainly, it's expensive. No, it's useless. There we go. Okay, just mow through them. I'm just going to ignore the birds. The birds aren't nearly as dangerous as they used to be. Mainly, this weapon is just kind of anti-bird territory. Whoa, that was weird. I think I kind of, like, glitched up through the floor because I couldn't figure out where I was supposed to be. That was cool. How do I feel about getting cursed in this game so you can get better items early? I don't bother. Curse is too risky for me. If curse did interesting things, I think I'd be more interested in it. But if it's just like, you have to kill 10 enemies without getting hit, or you die, and I'm like, that's just kind of lame. I could probably do it. I'm definitely good enough at this game that, like, that's not really a problem. It's just mostly boring. I'm much more interested in curses that actually, like, force me to try to do something different. Like, I would much rather have a curse in this game. Let's come up with some dumb curses here. Seeing as we're talking about this. Oh, curse of jumping. Your character jumps non-stop if so double jump, whatever. So you'd have to actively, like, deal with the fact that your character is hopping around like a mad loon. I'd be 110% down with that. That would be really cool. Because it would actually, like, force me to think and try different things. And it wouldn't just be, like, penalizing me at all times for like, slight failure. And so it's like a trade-off. Hit an enemy within 15 seconds. But that's still kind of, like, it kind of works, but it kind of doesn't. Because ultimately the problem with that is just, like, say if you've kind of cleared out the general area, you're screwed. And I prefer things that are like the jumping curse, for example. You jump like a crazy person until you kill, like, 20 enemies. So you can't just wait it out. That'd be great. The frantic sword is good. The frantic sword is okay. It's not bad, but I would prefer to keep it out of my item pool. Just in favor of everything else. I've got so many more interesting swords than just the one that makes it so you do a crit after you've taken damage. Holy crap. I don't think I've ever had this much health. How much health are we gonna have? 3,000. Holy crap, that upgrade was worth 800 hit points. I mean, these guys are kind of rolling me because I'm stuck in the middle between, like, multiple dudes, but, like, whatever. Damn. This works great. Like I said, just put all your points into HP. You'll be okay. Don't enjoy whips in this game. Take quick swords and daggers over anything. The wrenching whip is the one exception. I would say the wrenching whip is definitively worth trying if you haven't yet. The wrenching whip is awesome. Okay, we still have areas left. I'm just gonna go to all of them, just in case we get anything else. But, like, this is probably one of my best runs ever. And I haven't done much of anything. Is it the range or the DPS? Both, actually. So the wrenching whip, pulls enemies to you, which is actually the least useful part of it. Main reason why I like it is it's got good damage and it ignores shields. So it's everything about the longer whip that could be good, but in a fast, heavy-hitting package. It's part of the reason why I wanted to clear my item pool so much, is because there's just so much garbage that, like, needs to be fixed. What would another curse be that I would like? I mean, one that would actually make it so you can't attack or you can't use skills for a little while. A little bit boring, but it could work. Another one that actually makes it so you move at, like, half speed. Actually, no! Here's some fun curses. Let's go back to brainstorming curses here. One that actually doubles or triples the game speed for everyone. You, your enemies, enemy projectiles, and so everything just turns into Madhouse speed time. That would be beautiful. I would enjoy that so much. Can't stop moving curse. Yeah, can't stop moving curse would be hilarious. What's another curse? Oh, easy one. All enemies are dragged towards you. Up, down, left, right. They're just magnetically attracted to you, and you can't just, like, well, you could avoid them, I guess, if you wanted to run away or whatever. But it becomes kind of like dodge the enemy instead of other things. What else would there be? Dexterity goes down by like 25%, I guess. Let's see. It'd be good if the AI didn't know what to do with the speed. I think it should just turn into like crazy mode. Oh, dude. Even better, going along with the speed idea that I'm floating here. I guess the frantic sword actually would be really good, especially in this case. I'm not going to do it though. We've already seen the frantic sword. Oh, finally. Okay, I'm going to pick it up for a second. That's cool. I'm not going to use it, but that's cool. All projectiles explode. I was actually going to... Yeah, sure. Yours and enemies. The ammo comes back to you. It always has, honestly. Curse of Hard. Every enemy becomes an elite version of itself. That could be interesting. Actually, it'd be cool if there was a curse that just had like an AI elite hunter enemy that would specifically like try and hunt you down. Okay, probably should have gotten the projectile reflection, but that's okay. I was gonna say curse of icy surfaces. So after getting cursed by the curse of icy surfaces, your character slides everywhere. Like everything was just covered in ice. That would be really, really enjoyable and kind of goofy. Anti-grav. Ceilings become floors, and floors become ceilings. I'm trying to think of other like weird dumb things that we could do. There's like a bajillion more interesting things than like you instantly die, and it's like, well, that's just the height of boring. Just stay there and let me hit you for a bit. I will admit, I do actually appreciate that this this weapon lets you do air combos that you couldn't do anymore. Floor is lava. Dude, I would be down with a floor is lava curse, assuming that there were corresponding platforms to show up to make the floor slightly easier to avoid. Unfortunately, there's a lot of floor, and that would be maybe just a bit too much lava. But that could work out really well. Ow. Taking too much damage here. He's going pretty quick. Curse of Resurrection. Enemies have a chance to resurrect. Maybe? What would another one be? A really insane one would be, all of the enemies get remixed. Oh, yeah, that would be amazing. Curse of the Remix. Remixes the whole level. Maybe even with level chunks from other levels and stuff, just to make it extra screwy. But you suddenly have to, ow, okay. That was a bad time had by me. Luckily, we're fine. Well, we're okay. I might not even need to heal on this sucker, just because of how goddamn beefy I am. But yeah, so one that would remix it so, like, various enemies could show up and stuff like that. Because it would be, it'd actually be kind of sweet if, like, some of the like, enemies from the Fog Fjord showed up, or the... I mean, anywhere. Is it just me, or does he have more tentacles? I don't know. Ow, rolled with him. Probably should, hang out near the sides. Or just hit him and whatever. I wonder, to some degree, how much I can just face tank this boss. It's probably not a good idea if I just face tank him, but considering I've got so much HP... I can kind of do whatever I want. Yeah, Balanced Sword actually does more damage to these things. HP reduced to 1 for 45 seconds. But that's already what it does. That's just instant death. Yeah, there are more tentacles trying to molest me. I just don't remember if there were, Probably shouldn't have actually done that. Eh, whatever. If anything, that's the most dangerous maneuver this guy has to throw against me. Whip. Honestly, this guy hitting me is way more dangerous than the tentacles. Stop moving and let me fist you. Well, Curse of the Unpopular. Oh yeah, that'd be interesting. One that actually makes it so the shopkeepers for the whole level won't talk to you or something like that. That could work out. Okay, so let's keep putting things into the Hayabusa boots just because I really like the Hayabusa boots. Kill all enemies in a room under 2 minutes. New countdown begins. Enter a door. Bosses are an exception. I don't know if that would be a good curse. It would actually be really cool if there was a, more event rooms, honestly. Phaser and Turret are really good against the Watcher. Phaser is awesome, obviously. I've used that plenty. Turret, on the other hand, I don't like Turret. They've nerfed Turret hard enough that I want to deal with it. But I would actually really like it if they added some, like, event rooms to this game. Currently, it's just kind of the same enemies over and over and over again. And it would actually be really cool if you could, It would actually be really cool if you could, like, walk into a room, the doors slam shut, and suddenly you have to fight to survive against a couple waves of enemies or something like that. But then, after defending against the waves of enemies, you get, like, a cool reward. That'd be really nice. What if it randomly spawned a boss? That would be terrifying. Had to deal with that in Vagante, and it was not pleasant, honestly. Does the game always kill you there? Yes. Yes, it does, sadly. The game is a bit, unfinished, so their solution is to, just to kill you whenever you get to that point. Trying to see, what do we want to do next? Yeah, let's do one more run.